What are these two hieroglyphs and how were they used to describe the ancient Egyptian pharaoh? That's what we'll dive into today in this video. So you may have seen these two hieroglyphs before, particularly in some of my other videos. The first one, the flagpole, represents the sounds N and what we call a second T and R. In modern times, we pronounce this nTr, and this is the word for God in ancient Egyptian. The other sign is a windpipe and heart, and this is used for the sounds N, F, R, which today we pronounce as Nefer. And this is usually translated as good, beautiful, or perfect. Now, both of these words, of course, are used in a huge number of texts, especially Nefer, and they're used in various ways. But today, let's look at how these two are often used together to describe the ancient Egyptian king. These are used together in what's called an epithet, or more simply, a phrase, that could come before a king's birth or throne name, either with or without also a very common title called dual king and also son of Re, which are phrases that I talked about in the last few videos. And if you haven't seen those yet, you can check them out after this video. So nTr Nefer is commonly translated as the good God or the perfect God, but more recently it has been interpreted actually as being the young God, as a way of relating the king to the god Osiris, and sometimes to other gods, who could be called the senior or elder god. This was a way to describe the king as a god's younger relative ruling on earth, and to relate him to the god Horus, who was the son of the god Osiris. You can learn more about Osiris in this video that I made, which I will link in the corner and in the description below. Now let's look at an example of how this was used. But first, I want to let you know that if you're enjoying this series, it's just a small part of what will be in my new course called SCRIBAL School. Now, SCRIBAL School will take you from knowing nothing or very little about Egyptian to reading the most common texts that you'll see in museums and online, or on a trip to Egypt. Now, to be the first to know when the doors open and have access to some exclusive bonuses, you'll want to join the VIP waitlist at scribalschool.com, and I will link that in the description as well. Okay, back to that example. On this double kohl tube, now that is basically, it's an eye makeup holder. It has the names of King Amenhotep III and his great royal wife, Queen T. Before Amenhotep's throne name, though, then his name is Neb-Ma'at-Re, that is for his throne name. Before that, we see nTr Nefer here. So in other words, we could translate this as the perfect God or the young God, Neb-Ma'at-Re. And this is a super common way that you will see this particular epithet used is often before the throne name, although it can occur also before the birth name. In the next video, we'll get into another 2-for-1 like this, as we learn about another two hieroglyphs that you'll see in the same places as this. So I'll see you there.